try to get it. We'll get it done as soon as we can. So any questions? Jan, your hand is working. Well done. You can go, Jan.
Morning, guys. Morning, Jess. Morning, Ox. I'm going to ask the question I asked the other players as well. I know this is before your time, but what are your earliest memories of tours to New Zealand, if any? And I mean, the last official tour to New Zealand was 94, and the last New Zealand tour was in 96. So what is your memories of this interaction between, or tours between the countries?
Jess, I actually think you were 2 years old then, and Ox, you were
I was
one.
only turning a year.
So yeah, you can answer that.
Who's answering here?
You, Jesse, because you're older.
Okay. No, I think for me, obviously I suppose the rivalry between South Africa and New Zealand has always been something really special. I think if you look at, for myself personally, players that I grew up, or that when I grew up loving to watch, was a guy like Christian Cullen, Ma Nonu, Conrad Smith, and then obviously got the chance to play against guys like that, Dan Carter, all these guys that were heroes growing up. And then I think every time there's a South Africa versus New Zealand game, the energy is just different. I think the anticipation for the game, I think the public love watching New Zealand go against South Africa, and I think it's just always something really special. So I think for me, it's definitely always probably the fixture that you look at in a test season, and you think, flip, this is going to be an absolute massive test. And I think that's what makes this whole this new series so exciting.
Playing them 4 times, 3 times in South Africa, and then a 4th time elsewhere, but playing them 4 times in a row is obviously something you guys haven't experienced before. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think now it's obviously always there's always 2 tests, and it's you either win. Let's say you win one or you lose one, then everyone's kind of like, who's the better team, or what's going on. But now it's almost like an incoming series where there's a whole lot of tests, and it's, I mean, if you win 2 and you obviously drop 1, then you kind of win the series. So I think it's nice to play for a series where there's a lot of opportunities to kind of showcase what you are as a team, and what you can produce at the highest level. So for me, it's exciting. Obviously, every week you do analysis on the team that you play against, and I think a lot more than just a rugby game is going to be tested. I think it will be coaching staff with analysis week in and week out, because you're obviously playing against the same team for 4 weeks or for 4 games. So there'll have to be a lot of innovation. There'll have to be a lot of thinking behind the scenes. Players will obviously have to tweak things in their games, and game plans will have to be tweaked as you go along in the series. So I think for me, that's probably what excites me the most. Is I think it's more than just rugby. It's a lot of tactical and a lot of that kind of stuff that's involved, which is really exciting.
Next question.
Craig, yeah, if I can go.
Yeah.
Morning, guys. And I've asked this question of a few other panels we've had this morning, but maybe Ox, what are the chances that you could play in one of the provincial games, the Springbok squad members? Would you like to sort of play for, say, the Sharks against the All Blacks as well as in the test matches? Would that be something that excites you, Jesse? Maybe not the same for you, but yeah, what's your take on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think if obviously depending on the precise scheduling of everything, I mean, if it happens that we can and are allowed to play for unions before we actually do play for the Boks, I'd probably I think I'd enjoy that, because I mean, as much as we have a system at the Sharks, as well as just a bit less pressure, I guess, to you're more enjoying it, and I mean, there's a lot of guys there that probably won't play test match rugby, or have never played test match rugby. So it would be actually I think it would be a great experience to actually play against a team like All Blacks with all the other guys that you play with for most of the year. So yeah, I mean, it would be interesting, and it would be something that I'm definitely keen on.
Yeah, thanks.
Next question. Anyone else for questions?
Jan's got his hand up again.
Jan?
Yeah, I'll go again. Thanks, guys. The guys will just shut me up if I talk too much. Talking about the other journalists, the players can shut me up as well. This whole concept, and I know it's I probably give my age away, but this whole concept of touring, bringing it back. And I know there's a much bigger picture in terms of global calendars and the suns are set up and that. But would you guys like to see this expand to other countries? Go tour maybe Australia, maybe go tour Argentina rather than just a one-off visit for a one-off test match? Would you guys like to, and that can go to both, would you guys like to go to other countries as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think the thing is when you go to a country like, let's say we were in London now for this last test match. You basically there for a week. You get in on a Sunday or a Monday. You train for 2 days. You've got 1 day off, which is really, it's not really an off day. You don't really get to see much because you kind of your whole morning is spent doing recovery. And then you maybe go out for a lunch, and then it's kind of back into things again on the Friday for the captain's run and all of that. So you don't really get to see the country, I suppose, kind of get to see what the culture is all about and stuff like that. So I think if you spend a bit longer in a country and you tour the place, I think you get to know the people, you get to see a bit more things. So it's more than just rugby for me when it comes to things like this, because you kind of get a better understanding of what the country's about, the culture. You get to meet new people, and I think that's for me what touring's all about. Yes, the rugby is one thing, but I think that would be the awesome thing about it. Is you get a bit more exposed to the country and a bit more time to have a look and I suppose explore and stuff like that. So that's what's quite exciting.
Yeah, I think as well, it would be a very interesting concept because I mean, this is right. You go to the UK, you are only in like we stayed at Teddington, and that's the only place you had for that week. And I mean, to actually be in a place and you toured like the different cities within the country would be, I mean, you get a different feel of the different places, the different crowds that we get. I mean, for example, having to go to Marseille, to France. I mean, to play 1 week in Marseille and to play the next in Paris and then go south of France or wherever. It's like it's a unique experience, and I think and like you get to learn more about the cultures, the different energies, and I mean, it gets the whole country excited. If I like, in my opinion, I mean, I know if, for instance, I obviously know, like even now in South Africa, people are just talking about like the three games where we play against the All Blacks next season. So it just creates a whole vibe around the country. Yeah.
A follow-up to that, and I know it's hypothetical, but what would be the one country you would like to tour in most? Would it be Argentina or England or Australia? Or what would be the one country outside of New Zealand that you would like to go for a full tour?
France.
France. I mean, you guys were there. I've got to ask you, you guys were there. I mean, so obviously you spend most of your time just outside Paris or in Toulon. So you would like to go play other venues. Which ones would you most likely go play at, or which teams?
Besides, wait, I'm not understanding your question.
Outside of the test, sorry. Yeah, touring extending this, making a tour outside of just New Zealand. I know this is about New Zealand, South Africa, and it's a hypothetical question. But if you'd like to tour another country like this, and you can play midweek matches, which country would that be? And what would be the midweek matches you would like to most likely to play?
Ox, if you don't mind, can I just hop in here? Jan, I think this is a rugby's greatest rivalry launch. I think we're deviating now from where we should be. And I'd like it if we can just keep the focus on rugby's greatest rivalry. So if you don't mind, if there's time, we can come back to that later. But let's rather stick to the task at hand here, if that's okay, Jan. Any Morgan?
Thanks, Ina. I guess you guys have got got a very good record recently against the All Blacks. I think it's 7 victories in 10 games, if I'm not mistaken. Next year's tour, does that present another opportunity to get a little bit more over on the All Blacks, possibly target a whitewash and really stamp your authority on this rivalry?
Yeah, I'll answer this. I think if you start thinking now about whitewashes and stuff, I think you definitely going to trip over a hurdle. I mean, before you even get there, I think New Zealand's an extremely proud country, and they obviously every test match against them is extremely tough. So it is exciting that the opportunity, I suppose, to go there and win a series will present itself. But I think there's still so much water under the bridge until we get there. I mean, we've got 6 games now on tour. I mean, you've heard Rassie say so many times about how a week in rugby is a very long time, and I think it's probably one of the most accurate things in professional rugby. Is it's a lot of things can change. I mean, you look at that Auckland game where the Eden Park game where we lost that game, and it was almost like a funeral and the end of the world. And then the next week we went and had a massive victory, and then we've been on a bit of a run since then. So I think it wouldn't be a great idea to start thinking that far ahead. But I do think it is definitely exciting as a team to potentially know that there's a opportunity to go and win that series.
Yeah, definitely agree with Jesse. The chance of actually saying, you get to play against the greatest rivals as a Springboks, and like it's not just 2 games in a year, it's like 3 where, we've always like lost 1-1-1, and to actually have 3 where we say, for this year, the one team was pretty much better than the other. I think that's like the opportunity that we're looking for, really, just to say, best out of 3, who wins actually has bragging rights for the year.
Z, if I could jump in.
Yeah, great.
Great, yeah. So on that note, guys, I mean, obviously the series itself is contained. You want to win the series, best of 3, and well, there's a 4th test as well. But in terms of preparation for a World Cup, I mean, I know there's also a bigger picture that will be floating above it all, which is the World Cup, which will be a year later. In some ways, it's great to play the All Blacks 4 weeks in a row because that's really tough opposition. But in another way, maybe it will limit your options of experimenting because the winning of that series is the primary factor. So do you see it as a double-edged sword with the World Cup in mind?
Craig, I don't see it as a double-edged sword at all. I think if you look at at what our coaching staff and Rassie and his guys have done now, I mean, we have, regardless of the test and the pressure, I mean, the Durban test was a must-win, and Rassie played a whole different team. The Wellington test was a must-win. He played a whole different team. So he's shown time and time again that he's got faith in the whole squad. And I think the players understand that, which is extremely powerful. I think regardless, and I've said it so many times, regardless of who's playing on the weekend, the guys know they've got a job, and the squad and the team also understands that. I think the public likes to, suppose, write this narrative that when we're under pressure we play a certain team, but I think if you look at the reality of things, that's definitely not the reality. The reality is that we can play a different team on the weekend regardless of the pressure of the game and still get the result. So I don't think it will have any impact on that. I think if we've got 4 tests, we could play 4 different teams with different combinations and would be confident going into those games. So as a player and as a squad, that really excites me. And it also, I suppose, going into the next World Cup, it's really positive,
Yeah.
As well, depends. Sorry, depends on the perception you look at it from. As I mean, you play 4 games back to back, and every single week you have to be emotionally up for it. So I mean, you like Jesse said, like a week is a very long time in rugby. So I think for us, as like from a mental and emotional point of view, I think it's good preparation in a sense, because now, sure, one week you might win, play well. The next week, the All Blacks will definitely be coming for you, and you have to be able to get yourself up, and even the week after. So I think it's good pay for us to know it's a good test for us to show that you can't just do it once or twice. You have to be able to do it and get yourself up every single week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Next question.
Can I jump in again, Zina?
Yeah, Morgan.
I suppose the other question is, the on-field rivalry is fierce, but this will also give you guys a bit more opportunity to develop off-the-field relationships with the guys, with the New Zealanders, almost like they did in the amateur era. Is that something you guys are looking forward to? I think there was, in the previous discussion, there was a talk about perhaps even playing like a Ryder Cup style golf championship while the New Zealanders are here between, you guys.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Oxy, you go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, we remember all the tours that we used to have in New Zealand back in Super Rugby. You got to know a lot of the guys there, and some, I'm so we're not as close, but I'm so mates with most of the guys that I played against then. So yeah, something that I'm definitely looking forward to. Cheers.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I think, like I said, when you spend more time in a place and you're not just hurrying to get your bag and get on a bus so you can get back to the hotel and pack the truck and get back on the plane. I think it allows you more time to, I suppose, socialize, have a beer afterwards with the opposition or the guy you played against and some of your mates. And I suppose I've definitely seen it now while playing in Japan. There's obviously a few All Blacks there like Sam Cane and a few of the guys over there that I've obviously befriended and got to know quite well. And I think it's over the years, all the rivalries and playing these big test matches, you do form something special, and then actually getting to know the person off the field is quite a cool thing as well, because as you know, in sport, the person on the field and the person off the field is normally a very different person. So I think that the opportunity of that and being able to spend time with the New Zealanders is something that is pretty cool, and I suppose you forge friendships that last a lot longer than a rugby career.
Good morning, guys. Morning, Jesse. Morning, Ox. If I could perhaps ask about the fans and the impact of the supporters. This will be something new for them as well. Just how much of a difference does good support make, especially in a tight series between two very, very good rugby teams like the Springboks and the All Blacks?
Yeah, it means a lot. It really does mean a lot. It's like your extra pair of lungs when you feel like things are getting tight. Even just hearing the crowd just gives you extra burst of energy, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It would be even greater if the All Blacks, like a lot of New Zealanders, actually came to South Africa for the tour. But it does play a massive role. It does put a lot of pressure on the position, and it does give you an extra burst of energy. Jess?
I'm good. You answered it well, bro.
Any other questions, guys? No? Morgan?
This is a bit of a left field question, perhaps, maybe out of your view, but right now the Bok women, they had a very successful World Cup. They're not forming part of this greatest tour, but I think there might be space for them maybe in the future to play the Black Ferns. What do you guys think the Bok women need to do to get to that level to form part of this greatest rivalry?
Morgan, I think that would be unfair for them to answer, to be honest. We've been briefed on our tour against New Zealand, so can we rather stick to that, please? I don't want to put the players in an awkward situation to speculate about things.
No problems. I was just trying my luck. Thank you, Zina.
Thank you.
Is that it, guys? Anybody else?
Simnik,
Zia got my hand up.
Go Sim.
Hopefully it's not it doesn't put the players in any kind of awkward position. Guys, you've played rugby championships for as long as you can remember, and obviously this tour idea is totally different to that. How do you guys feel about sort of just having won probably the most competitive rugby championship in history, and obviously that being put on pause? Do you look at it as just a timing thing, or do you go, you know what, we've got something different to get our teeth into?
Yeah, I think it's obviously the rugby champs has obviously always been an awesome competition, but I mean those decisions are outside of our control as players. But I must say this new greatest rivalry really excites me. It is something different. I think the whole rugby product, it's something new. It's something exciting. I think it's something that's going to get fans talking. It's something that certainly the players are talking about and the players are excited about. So, I think it's just exciting in a whole. Obviously, the rugby championship is very special, like I said, but yeah, I mean, we don't make those decisions. We kind of have to pitch up and prepare and win test matches.
Any further questions, or is everybody happy?
Great.
Morgan has his hand up.
Morgan, is that an old hand? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys. Have a lovely day. Thanks, Jess and Ox. Really appreciate it.
Thanks all.
And have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.